The most underrated quality of Mamelodi Sundowns is their professionalism. Mamelodi Sundowns is so professional that I could literally say the exact same thing that I said versus Cape Town City, and it would apply to this game they played versus Chippa United. You know, respecting each of the teams in the league is the reason why not only are they one win away from winning the league right now, not only have they scored the most goals, they've now got the new record for the most goals scored in a season. But it's a job. They've come to work. They're not here to play. They're not in their emotions. They're not, caught up with something. They just come and do their job. And what did the job entail today? You're going to come out versus a Chippa United team who was dreadful in the first half. They had no effort. They had no spunk. They didn't want to play. They weren't up for the game. They weren't in the game. But even with that, here you sit with a low block that you have to break. And it's not a fun thing to try break a low block. Think about how hard Coach Rulani struggled with it towards the end of last season. Sales, the ability to know that, okay, not only can I rest players now, but let me bring in sales. Let me bring in those guys for the touches around the box. Then when it comes into the second half, when Chippa finally makes some positive changes and they come out and they play against you, you understand that there is a 10 or 15 minute time in the game where you're going to have to suffer. They do it professionally. They just go about their job because they understand that we don't need to blow Chippa away right now. We just need to stay disciplined enough to not concede the goal because they are going to run out of steam, similar to what happened versus Cape Town City. And this is where Sundowns kills all the teams in the league. Because they don't give 15 minutes of performance to Chippa. They give you 90. They give Pirates 90. They give Chiefs 90. They give Arrows 90. They are there every single game, and it's that consistency that wins them the league over and over and over again. When we drill into the game, look at Chippa United. I will never understand the thinking of PSL teams. I will never understand the logic that they come into games with. We're going to defend all men behind the ball, right? Then we're going to concede. And we're going to concede again. Then for some reason, us conceding more goals is the thing that gives us permission to go and play the game. And in the second half, they play the game. But you're 2 behind. You're 2-0 behind. You are not the team that's going to score 3 goals versus Mamelodi Sundowns. Not even Ahly can go and do that. But they've got it in their head that for some reason, I will never understand it because it's usually the other way around. You play free when you've still got nothing to lose. You go 1-0 down, then you go, you know what guys, let's sit back and defend this lead. Let's make sure we consolidate so that at the very least our goal difference is -1. Maybe that's why a lot of our PSL teams, their points look the way that they look. But then you look at Chippa United and you say, if Philander can come onto the pitch, Matrosa can come onto the pitch and change that game, and if you guys can come into the second half and play with a tempo that sort of pokes holes into what Mamelodi Sundowns is doing, why not do that from the beginning when you've got nothing to lose and the most to gain? Okay, so I know I stopped the video a lot and a lot of you are wondering, why are you asking for money? So I wanted to show you. I asked for money because I want to do more of this. Huh? But the truth of the matter is that it took over an hour in order just to render that shot. And it takes even longer when I'm doing my normal content because guys, here's the unsung hero of the channel. And unfortunately, Shem, but the screen is broken. I have to use a second screen and the performance is not up to it. So I'd really love to upgrade things like that. And when you look over here, this is what the setup looks like. and rehenga the green screen, which is a reality of being a South African content creator. Also, this is what people think is my studio. It's actually my house. So if you still don't know that I'm doing all of this from my home, then I don't know. But that is essentially what I want to do. More of these cool things. But I need you guys to please help me out by donating 50 Rand or more into this account. You know, we're fighting for multi-choice. And multi-choice, but these subscription models all over the place. And I'd love to give the biggest quality while also being able to pay my rent and do things like that. That is where your money is going. And I promise to give you only the best content that I can if you do throw something in. So I just wanted to show you guys what I want to do with your money. I want to take this South African football and fulfill my dream of taking it into the future. But thank you guys so much. Remember, this is the bank account that you deposit into. Get back into the video. Why not at that moment make it that, okay, we're going to put Sundowns under pressure? And we saw, I will say this forever, Mamelodi Sundowns is an incredible team, but no team is perfect. But you have to be willing to go out and look at the weaknesses. You have to be willing to look at Onyango and say, Onyango is not going to sweep a keep the way that Ronwen does. Maybe we should put balls into the area. Just in between the defense and him, there was one opportunity that was offside. And I'm like, you're seeing that he's in two minds. He's not confident about coming out. Do that more. Or we know that Onyango, as great of a keeper as he is, he's an old school keeper. He's a keeper's keeper. So the ball is not good at his feet. The chance that they got came from a press. Why not press like that? You saw that when you've got spaces that you can exploit because Mudau's gone forward, now you may have some space to be able to attack them. You saw that Allende goes out injured and they lose control of the middle just ever so slightly to allow you guys to play. Why do you have to wait for you to be 2-0 down to do this? And I don't want to take away from Mamelodi Sundowns and what they do in these games. Because again, I think Mamelodi Sundowns also is a team that understands that yes, there's the tactics, yes, there's all of that stuff. But when you look at the PSL teams, they can't stay focused for 90 minutes. And if you can stay in the game for 90 minutes, you can do a lot. Add on top of that, the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns is clinical. Another silent 3-0 win. Quiet, no noise, no fanfare. No crowd going crazy. None of those extra things. They've come and they've done their job. And if Mamelodi Sundowns is one thing, they're a team that understands how to do their job. And it's the professionalism that has set Mamelodi Sundowns apart from everybody else. In the way that they play, in the way that they're coached, in the way that they look at the tactics, in the way that they look they look at the small things like set pieces, in the way that the coach understands his players, in the way that they go about their transfer business, the way they've structured the club. That is the team that takes the league the most serious. And it's not surprising that they're here. And to Chippa United, for me, the test is not you playing versus Sundowns. The test is you playing versus Supersport and losing and Stellies and losing. The test is you only having 30 points. And it's not just Chippa. Kaizer Chiefs falls under this. Amazulu. There are at least 10, I believe it's 10 or more, 10 or 11 teams that are literally 4 points away from each other from the top, from number 5 to number 14. And you look at most of the teams, they can't even gather 10 wins in a season. There's only 4 teams that have 10 wins right now. And that tells you about the quality of this. And please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Chippa United must wake up tomorrow and be prime Ahly. But what I'm saying is, you cannot allow a team to play you and win and beat you so easily in second gear. At the very least, Mamelodi Sundowns has to come out and use all of their quality. See, in the second half, when they made the changes and they brought in your Zwanes, your Ribeiros, and your Masegos, well done to Masego for scoring, by the way. That was Sundowns going, okay, we need to step it up a gear. Make them work from the first minute. Sundowns again with an incredible win. One win away from winning the league before the season is done. Just one win away. We'll see what they can do on Sunday. I think the Sundowns team is incredible. They've scored the most goals right now. Reyners has now got 12 goals and 9 assists. Think about the other teams. Who in your team even has 5 goals? On top of Ribeiro having that. On top of Salesh having that. What an incredible team. What an incredible team that just goes about their business, man. They take every game seriously. And you can see it, you can feel it. And the results don't lie. Plenty of the other teams in the league are they're just honoring fixtures. Chippa they didn't want to play this game. They didn't want to be in this game. You could tell that they just switched off. And what's sad is that we've given teams in the league the permission to do so. We've given teams in the league to switch off. And you know what? I can get it versus Sundowns. But then you better make damn sure that you're going out and you're winning your other games. Mamelodi Sundowns, professional. Do our job. Come in, do the job, go home. It's a job. It's a profession. It's a career. It's not a joke. And this is why they're champions year in and year out and year in and year out. Well done to Mamelodi Sundowns. I'll see you guys on the next one.